Product management as a subject is really too vast to fit a single description. And because there are so many pathways into product management, people in these roles can have quite different skill sets depending on their background and education. Let's take a look at the 6 types of product managers. Firstly, there is the business product manager. And the business product manager is quite common, and they usually have an advanced business degree like an MBA and could come from a background in sales, marketing, project management, or consulting. And they usually have good problem-solving skills and are effortless communicators and often can really see the big picture well. On the downside, though, they may struggle to understand technology and design best practices, and this could lead to differing expectations with the development team and create conflict. So the business PM will have to spend a lot of effort and put in some hard work to build credibility with the dev team. And some examples of companies that love to hire MBA-type business product managers is Amazon and Microsoft. And a leader who personifies this role is Ken Norton, the senior partner at Google Ventures. The second type of role is the tech PM. And a tech product manager is like a business PM but has a strong technical background. And this could be because of their education. Usually they have a STEM education, so science, technology, engineering, or mathematics. And often they transition to the role from an engineering job. And while most of their duties would be identical to a non-technical product manager, they'll be able to lend more of their skills to the engineering team and have a much more hands-on role. But they may struggle with other critical aspects like figuring out the monetization and go-to-market strategy. And they may also fall into a bad pattern of working as an engineering manager on the team, trying to solve engineering problems instead of drawing the right boundaries and working as a product manager. And companies that love technology product managers are Google and Atlassian. And the leader who best personifies this role is Elon Musk. The next type of product manager is a fairly recent role. That's the data product manager. And this role has been developed as a direct result of the vast amounts of data that companies today are dealing with. Data is really a critical differentiating point for products, and it allows companies to personalize experiences at scale and deliver new value. And the data product manager leverages data to build better products, working closely with data science professionals. And they may have a background as an analyst or may come directly from the data science team. And data products also tend to have different life cycles with teams that are quite different from the traditional product development team, from the skill sets to the type of problems they encounter to team structure and team culture. And at a minimum, a data product manager has to have a basic understanding of statistics and be able to query databases using languages like SQL and be familiar with the techniques used in data science, such as data collection, cleansing, visualization, and they may also have some AI experience, such as building machine learning models. The strength of the data product manager is their analytical skills, and their biggest weakness is that they are so caught up in the weeds that they may lose sight of the bigger picture. And an example of a leader who fits the profile of a data product manager is Sebastian Thrun, the founder of the leading edtech startup Udacity. And some of the companies that love to hire data product managers is Netflix, Amazon, and Google. The next role is the design product manager. The design product manager has a really innate understanding of the end customer because they know how to research and build customer empathy. And they usually have a background in design or UX. And often they also have a basic knowledge of front-end technologies like HTML and CSS. Where they may struggle and where their new job will vary from that of a designer is the extent of multitasking and context switching that they'll have to do in their new role. And that's because product managers have to work in 3 modes. Firefighting mode, where an issue needs immediate attention, and a short-term mode, such as planning for an upcoming sprint, and long-term mode, for example, when they're building a roadmap. And a designer PM may struggle with this context switching and will need to overcome this by prioritizing their work and eliminating, automating, or delegating the work. And an example of a leader who best fits this profile is Steve Jobs, the founder of Apple. Now, the next type of product manager is the growth product manager. And the growth product manager has been on the rise in the last 5 years, and they focus less on the life of a product and more on improving a certain business metric. So they don't own the product. They own a specific metric or set of metrics associated with the product, such as the number of subscriptions. And they work closely alongside the traditional product manager, and they could focus on any stage of the product lifecycle. But by owning a metric rather than an entire product, A growth product manager is able to focus on the short term and run a series of quick experiments, working on a micro rather than a macro level. And the growth product manager role is most valuable to companies that have embraced a product-led growth strategy. And by this, we mean that they may use a free trial or freemium model to drive acquisition and use a low to no touch sales channel approach as their go-to-market strategy. And in organizations that are fairly new to the growth function, a growth product manager might oversee the entire engine from lead generation through to monetization and retention. But as companies evolve into the role, they may have growth product managers hone in on one specific problem, and then they form a hypothesis and run experiments and try to move the needle until they've optimized that number. And an example of a leader who fits the growth product manager persona is Chamath Palihapitiya, the head of growth at Facebook, who helped Facebook become the first social network to cross the 500 million user mark and reach more than 1 billion users. And the last type of product manager is the AI product manager. And this is a close cousin of the data product manager and probably the newest type of role. To stay competitive, technology companies need to realistically evaluate opportunities for automation, optimization, and innovation using AI, specifically using machine learning, also known as ML, which really accounts for over 99% of AI initiatives. And there is a lot of hype around AI, and so the AI product manager's job is to have a solid understanding of the capabilities and limitations of machine learning. They have to understand the different machine learning problem types like ranking and classification and regression and clustering, and they need to understand the AI product pipeline, which is the process by which AI products are taken to market. And this includes stages like ideation, feature development, data management, experimentation, and modeling. And AI product managers have a background in data science, but can also come from engineering. In terms of strengths, the AI product manager has a specialized skill set that is highly sought out by companies. But on the downside, as this is such a new profession, AI projects have a really high failure rate, with only 15% actually making it into production. And these projects also tend to have longer development cycles. And the company that employs the most AI product managers is Google. Google has over 4,000 ML projects in production today. Finally, an example of a leader who embodies this role is Anthony Goldblum, the founder of Kaggle, the world's largest online data science community. Okay, that's a look at the various product manager roles. The next lesson will be a short exercise where you can look at your own strengths and the needs of your product and decide what type of product manager you want to be. See you soon.